California, and at one point that involved writing for TV. Now I still do have that dream, and I'm making it happen just in a different way, right? Not really writing for TV so much, but I do eventually plan to be bi-coastal in my business. Um, and for the longest time, my husband thought that was so silly. He was just like, why would you want to move to somewhere that's so expensive? You don't really have a plan. What are you going to do when you get there? He's a very careful and cautious person, and I'm more so just dive right in. And both of those traits on both of our sides, they can be positive and negative sometimes, right? And my whole point to him was that it really didn't matter how silly he thought it was my dream. And if I want to be silly, let me be silly. Just like I was supportive of his dream at the time, even though at first, I didn't see where it was going. This was his dream. And I believe wholeheartedly that a partnership should feed your spirit and should feel supportive. Now, that's not to say that we just support each other's crazy decisions, right? Things that just make no sense or things that could just be straight up dangerous. But it is very important that during this one lifetime, right? You have one life. It's very important that you be around people, period, who are going to fuel your fire, who are going to help you see that you can do anything. And even if you don't achieve what you set out to do, right? If your goal changes, for example, at least you went out and did it. You got one life. And I don't believe that we're here to hold each other back. Okay, we're here to push each other forward and help to facilitate that growth, right? So that leads me to your question. What to do with an unsupportive partner? Well, first, I think it's really crucial to not jump to conclusions, all right? Sometimes what comes across to us as a lack of support, a lack of valuing goals, things like that, can really be something else altogether, okay? So you have to ask yourself, does your partner have a lot of things going on in his life? Is he under stress? Is he just completely focused on what he has going on and just really being more self-absorbed than anything, right? Showing a lack of attention and attentiveness, not so much a lack of support or value for your goals, okay? You're gonna have to step back and look at what else is going on. There are 1,000 ways to answer this question, because you could be talking about emotional support, you could be talking about financial support, right? Like where someone was supposed to be helping you to achieve something that they are backing out of or something like that. But right now I'm gonna give you like the general overview of how I would recommend going about this. All right, so first, you don't wanna jump to conclusions. You wanna step back, not be so much in your feels, okay? And kind of analyze what's going on outside of your partnership. What could be leading to this reaction or lack of response from your partner, okay? That's one. Then two, you have to know that your goals and what you are trying to achieve, they are so important, okay? It doesn't matter what anyone thinks about it. They are yours. This is your vision. It's not for anyone else to understand. No one is going to understand it the way you do, okay? So you really have to have that confidence within yourself to know that regardless of the reaction that you get, and I know that we want to have that support and we want to have that cheerleader in our partners, right? That's important. I get that. But that first has to come from within you, okay? Because you don't want to be in a position where you are projecting your own insecurity and self-doubt onto your partner and misconstruing what they're doing, right? And looking at it through your own lens, because you are not so confident in what it is that you're going after, or even if you're confident in it, you lack the plan. So you're looking for that extra boost of support and you're not getting it. And that could be for many reasons, right? But you're looking at it as this, and it might not be that. So you first have to have that confidence, and we'll talk about how to get that in a second, okay? That's number two. Know that your goals are important and that you deserve the support, even if it's just from within for now. You have to work on fostering that first, okay? Number 3, communicate. Communicate what you're feeling, how that's showing up within the relationship, and get to the nitty-gritty of why, okay? So, where we tend to slip up is first, we feel something and we don't speak on it, right? And if we do speak on it, it's usually not done the best way we can, okay? So, for example, if you are talking about your goals and he switches the topic up, this is something that my husband used to do all the time, and starts talking about him. And you're just like, you have a couple of options at that time. You can listen to your partner and let them go on their rant and their tangent or whatever about them, or you can cut him off and be like, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Why every time I'm talking about me, you make it about you? Which is what I used to do, but I've learned from that since then. There's a way to communicate so that you are actually getting to the real issue, to the root, and growing forward, not just elongating the argument, okay? Adding fuel to the fire. If we communicate with a lack of respect or tact, a lot of times the focus then goes to that instead of the original issue. So, when you're speaking on this, you want to do it outside of being in the heat of the moment, okay? If you have a couple of instances, examples of when you felt that lack of support, you do want to keep that in your memory bank and bring it up at a time when things aren't crazy, all right? Like, babe, even you're just, eating dinner one night. Babe, I was talking to you about this the other day and you said something and it kind of resonated with me as a lack of support and what I'm doing. And I don't want to assume that that is what you meant by that. So I just wanted to get a better understanding of what it was that you did mean, okay? Completely defenseless is you're not defensive, you're not attacking him, you're just asking for clarity. That's how you want to go about this. If it happens and you want to butt in and just interrupt whatever he's saying and start talking about it, wait till after he's completed his sentence. Let that kind of linger on and then bring it back up. Hey, just a couple minutes ago, this is what happened and this is how I took it. This is how it made me feel. And I wanted to first communicate that to you, but then also get your thoughts on why you might have done that or said that or whatever, okay? So that's number 3, communicate to get to the root, because a lot of times, again, we project our own lack of security or, conditioning onto other people when that's not what's actually happening, all right? And finally, you want to develop a plan of action. Be consistent and strategic, because a lot of the times men, especially, they're so wrapped up in what's going on with them and going after their own vision, okay? Masculine energy is very driven. It's always moving. It's a lot of times it really is self-focused because it's about achievement, all right? So if he's already focused and on his own thing, it's important that you do the same and just focus on your own strategy and being consistent in your goals. Not so much relying on him to make it happen for you. I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. I am saying that a lot of times people need to be shown things in order for them to take it seriously.